Hello and welcome to Impact Africa, where we celebrate and have conversations with diverse people and organizations who are impacting lives positively. And as well, we use the program to highlight events, positive news, and just generally celebrating places. So, yes, I am Dr. Kemi Akiode Adebayo, known as Mama K. And in today's program, to share our story is the hardworking, dedicated social entrepreneur, Madam Monica Dimingo. She is the founder of Dimitru Zambia Limited. How are you, my dear AWEX?
I'm fine. How are
Sister?
you?
How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank
Very, very
you.
well. So tell us about yourself first. Let's know about who Monica is. Who is Monica?
Yes, my name is Monica. I was born and bred in the Copper Belt, Kitwe. Copper Belt is one of the towns which is known for copper production in the Copper Belt province of Zambia. I started my grade one
Wow.
in
Well,
Kitwe, and I did most of my primary school in the Copper Belt.
okay, Copper Belt. Wow,
Yeah.
Africa is so blessed. Huh? So tell us about Zambian culture for somebody that does not know anything about Zambia. What are some of what you have to see if you visit Lusaka or anywhere in Zambia?
Okay, we've got a diverse, rich culture here in Zambia. So I'll just talk about maybe three or a few of them. So we recently had the Nchwala ceremony, which is held every year in Chipata. It took place 2 months ago. And then we have another upcoming one this month in Western Province. It's called Kuomboka ceremony. Kuomboka means to get out of. So there's a ceremony where the Lozi people they jump on this big boat and they cross over the river from one village to another. So it's a very exciting moment, and right now people are shopping for outfits
Wow.
and preparing. So thousands and hundreds of people will be flocking to Western Province this month to celebrate the Kuomboka ceremony.
Interesting. And I remember there was a time you were sharing with me as well, the traditional wedding in Zambia. So share with
Yes,
us how does that go? Because I know weddings all across Africa is celebrated in different ways. So tell us
yes.
about apart from that tradition of what you've just shared now,
Okay, so
what does a traditional
so
wedding in Africa, seem like?
Yeah, so our traditional weddings are a combination of the tradition and the English culture. So the first thing that happens is the bride price negotiations. So the groom's family and the bride's family, they go to the bride's family's home, and that's where they discuss the lobola negotiations. So once they agree on the bride price, then there's what we call ichilanga mlilo. Ichilanga mlilo, it's being done by every tribe. It's mostly done by the Bembas, but now it's being done by everyone, every Zambian culture, because I think it's a very powerful ceremony, and it's a very exciting moment. So what happens at the Chilanga Mlilo is the bride's family prepares a variety of foods, and then they show that food to the groom's family. Once they've accepted the bride price, they've agreed, then they prepare a traditional ceremony called Ichilanga Mlilo to the groom's family. This is where a variety of foods is presented to the groom's family. They show the food, they show the groom the food that is eaten from the bride's family, and then once he tastes that food, he's welcome. Before the wedding, he's welcome to go to his in-laws to eat. He's free to eat from his in-laws' home. And then after that, we normally
Wow.
have the white wedding.
Beautiful. That is so interesting. I can't wait to come and experience the traditional wedding in Zambia. So let's go now to you now. I know you volunteer for Lions Club. Why do you
Yes.
think, why do you volunteer, you know?
Okay, one thing I've learned about being a volunteer is I've got a passion to serve the community. And being a volunteer means you don't request any form of financial aid, but you just go out there and serve the community. So in the Lions Club, we've got three major causes which we support the community. We support the hungry people, so we've got Feed the Hungry project. We support people with vision. Yes, so under the Lions Club, we've got 5 major causes that we carry out throughout the Okay. Yes, so I'm part of the Lions Clubs International. I'm a volunteer and I'm the current president of the Lions Club of Makeni. I'm passionate about serving the community, and one of the major causes in Lions Club is that we've got 5 causes that we serve.
So you need to reply. So John, remember to edit
okay.
that bit. Yeah, so we need to reply the bit now about the
Lions.
Yeah.
We're not starting from the scratch.
No, we're not starting from the scratch. No, just from the Lions
Okay.
one.
Yeah. Okay. I am the current president of the Lions Club of Makeni, and I love to serve the community. Being a volunteer is one of the fulfilling things I do in part of my life. As Lions Clubs International, we are passionate about serving 5 key activities. We target focusing on the environment. We do Feed the Hungry project. We support people with vision impairment. We support the community with diabetes problems, and we also support childhood cancer. So those are major causes we support the community as Lions Clubs International.
Wow, well done. That's commendable. And all the 5 courses, obviously, Lions Club, is international, is all over the world. And I hope, even you just sharing this would encourage, others to want to join. So let's go now to your social entrepreneur journey. Why social entrepreneur? When did you start Dimitru Zambia Limited, and what do you do?
Yes, so Dimitru Zambia Limited started in 2017. That's a period I was transitioning from my day job to starting my own thing. I'm very passionate about nature. I love plants. I love trees. So there's a saying that goes, change starts within yourself. If you're not happy about something in the community, you have to be the change. And in my country, there's a high rate of deforestation. People cut down trees, make charcoal, and charcoal is one of the high income generators in our communities. And I told myself, if I don't want to see people cutting down trees, I'll try and participate in climate change and deforestation. And that's how I started my tree nursery. I've been doing this. This is my 7th year.
Wow.
Of doing
what services,
trees.
That's really commendable. I would have loved to go more into the issue as well of one side, it's needing the trees to survive and to cook and for daily things, and you trying to save the environment, and for your love of nature. So, but let's go now into Dimitru. What services, specific services do you provide?
Yes. So at Dimitru, we do not just do trees and we do not just have a tree nursery, but we are also passionate about creating sustainable spaces, green spaces. We love to keep environments clean and green. So we do ground maintenance and landscaping services for both commercial and residential properties.
I really wish you were here. I need my landscaping to be done for my garden. So well done,
Yes.
for all. So now let's go into some of the challenges, that probably you have experienced. Like what you were sharing about the fact that you went from your day job to your passion and what you're doing. I'm sure there's been challenges you've had to overcome over since 2017, since you started. So, what are some of those challenges and how have you managed to overcome them?
Yes, so running a business is not an easy thing. What I've learned through the years about running a business that you need to have like cash flow is key. If you have a
Mm.
negative cash flow, your business is going to be negatively affected. So one thing I've learned, and what's one of the things I have learned from AWAC is managing your cash flow. So cash flow has been a challenge, but through the lessons that I've learned through different incubator programs, I've been able to overcome that.
So, for you over the years, we're going to talk about AWEC, what AWEC means later on. Um, for you, though, as a social entrepreneur, so far since 2017, you've shared, the cash flow, the challenges, and I'm sure there are more, there that you probably, have experienced. What are you mostly proud of for you as an entrepreneur and a social one, which is about social impact? What has been some of the achievements that you say, wow, you know what? I am really proud of that, and you want to share that with us?
Yeah, one thing I am proud of is that I never thought I would reach 7 years. And when I was starting this business, we were just the two of us. There was
Mm.
myself and one of the gardeners. And I'm happy and proud to say that I've taken part in mitigating unemployment because right now, as we speak, we're about 35 employees, young men and women supporting families. It's something when I look back, even when I try to give up on the business, when I look at the people that are, looking up to this business, I tell myself, if I told myself I shut down the business, all these people will be affected. So that's one thing that keeps me going. It's the people that are running with the business. It's the people that are keeping the business going. So when I feel like giving up, like things are tough, I look at the family depending on this to say, if I give up, everybody is going to be affected. So it's something I'm proud of, and I always pray to God to give me wisdom and courage to soldier on.
Well done. Wow, from 2 to 35, that's a big achievement under the space of, 7 years, basically. But you know what? We'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Monica Dimingo from Zambia, and I'm the CEO and founder for Dimitru Zambia Limited. We are an environment-friendly company that is creating a sustainable environment through tree planting. We have a mission of fighting climate change and deforestation.
Wow, Monica, what a journey. You sharing, being born in Lusaka, Zambia, and a copper country. You shared some of the cultures, there, your weddings there, how you got into being a social entrepreneur and running your business of wanting, the love of nature and then saving trees, doing landscaping, starting with 2 employees and now 35, diverse, young, old. adding, back into the community in terms of social economically. And then some of the challenges, like you shared the cash flow, but making sure your cash flow is key and helping to keep you and not giving up and having that wisdom, from God as well. So for you, what are the three things that you will say you value most or what motivates you as well?
The three things that motivate me is the first thing is uh, the relationship that I have with God, because God is the pillar of everything that I do. And secondly, it's my family. And then the third thing is my community. So these three things, they shape how I run my life day to day on a daily basis. If I'm standing at home, I'm in good standing with my family and I'm doing something to support my community, then all is well with me. So these are the key things that keep me going. At least if I can even help one person in the community, I know that I've done my part.
Very well done, very commendable. And I could tell already from that,
Yeah.
your background, the story that you shared very much at the beginning. So share with us though, would you say you are now successful? What is success, to you? What's the meaning of success? And as a leader, leading employees, 32 people, how is that for you? What is leadership? What qualities do you need to have as a leader?
Okay, thank you so much, Mama Kay. So I'll talk about success. I think success is when you observe or when you identify a problem in a community and you're able to solve that problem. I think that's, to me, that is success. You can have a lot of money, you can you can have all the riches in this world, but if you're not able to touch someone's life, I think then you're not doing anything. But with the little that you have, able to touch life, that's success, because it means a lot. And then one of the qualities of being a good leader through the years that I've been running a business, that you need to be tolerant. You need to have compassion, and then you also need to be firm. Sometimes you need to make firm decisions. Sometimes you need to make tough decisions that maybe your workers will not be happy about it, but you need to make tough decisions. So you need to be firm, you need to be tolerant, and also you need to be compassionate. Those are one of the other qualities that you need to have as a leader.
Wow, I completely agree with you. Very important, the firm bit and being compassionate, which sometimes is tough, as a leader. So you've already shared a little bit of, life lessons that you've learned over the years. But what we'll want to do for, my question now is, what are some of the key life lessons, though, that have helped you personally over the years, looking back and you could say, you know what, if I could do this, maybe I could have done it this way. If you just share some with us.
Okay. So I'll share two life lessons. The first one is whatever you go through in life happens for a reason. Sometimes we go through the worst moment of our lives and we think we've been abandoned by God and all that. So even the Bible says that there's time for everything. So whatever you go through, it's, there was a time set for that. And at a certain time, that time will pass. Okay. So I'm a divorced woman. And when I look back, I tell myself, if I was still married, I don't think I would have been running this business, because my divorce or my separation started the very moment I started building this business. That's when that's when my marriage broke down. The moment I started the business. And instead of me wallowing in depression, I took that moment to rediscover myself. I told myself, okay, this marriage thing hasn't worked. I started rediscovering myself, and here I am. So when I look back, I tell myself, if I was still in that marriage, I don't think I could have been in this situation. We need to embrace all the situations that we go through in life. And then the second part is being resilient. We go through different hardships. I think it's similar to the first point I mentioned about the situation. You need to be resilient. Resilience is bouncing back from various kinds of difficulties. So when you embrace these two things, you'll be able to, manage to fight all.
Wow. Thank you so much. Your definition of success, the qualities, you feel a leader should have, and you can proudly, say yes, you're an authority in that because, like you said, you have, over 30 employees, that work for you. And thank you for being, vulnerable there by sharing that life experience of even though you went through that divorce, but you turned it around and helped you to rediscover yourself, and being resilient as well
Yes.
has been part of the journey, for you up till now. You know what? We'll stop for a break and we'll be right back. Wow, Monica, I just commend you. I salute you. I normally say this at the end of the program, but for this segment, I know we met, based on training, kind of a skill development, run by the African Women Entrepreneurship Cooperative, AWEC, for short. And you were in cohort 4, and I was in cohort 5. So you're my senior AWEC sister. So for you, I know you
Yes.
said it right at the beginning. You shared, the fact that AWEC, added into your business in terms of giving you that the cash flow, pointing out to you that cash flow was key. That was one of the things you learned through AWEC. But I now want you to share, at more length on how the journey was for you with a program like AWEC, because I know there are other programs happening all across Africa. But if you share some of the journey for you, that 1 year, what you learned, and as well what you liked, what you didn't like, and the impact, on your business. You already shared the cash flow impact, and as well, whether you've had any collaboration, with other AWEC sisters in other countries or somebody they've introduced, because this is all what this is about, saying, yeah, we're not alone, we can work together as a team. So please do share.
Yeah. So the AWEC journey has been an exciting journey, and I'll share one of the things that have shaped my business. I've been able to change how I manage my finances, as I mentioned earlier. I now know how to handle my employees in a very professional manner. I managed to hire an assistant. I never had an assistant. It was quite tricky, but through all those AWEC lesson sessions, there was a point where we were told that you are not supposed to hold on everything to yourself. You need to let go, So I had to let go of some of the tasks that I was holding on to so much. And I even feel a little bit free because I know that I've trained somebody, I've groomed somebody to do those things I was holding on to so much. And, it's a very fulfilling kind of feeling. So I'm so grateful to AWEC and the General Assembly we had in Nairobi also. It was one of the game changers. I learned a lot from those speakers. I met you. So there are bigger things ahead.
Awesome. I can't wait. And we already, based on this program alone, because we've had this network challenge, we have to be honest. So I have to either come to Zambia to visit you, or you have to come to Cape Town for us to visit properly again, so that we will go overcome all this network challenge that causes a barrier,
Yes.
sometimes. But yeah, shout out, to all our other AWEC sisters who are doing amazing things across, Africa. My final question now is, I know you're very passionate, about tree planting and environmental issues and, the course of what you're doing, nature basically, and just impacting lives through that. What for you is another social issue that maybe you have interest in, or that you're passionate about, that you feel something needs to be done about it? And then the second part of that for me, asking you now, is what are the solutions to that issue? Whether you are able to do it, whether it has to be the government or other people, and so on.
Okay, one of the major issues that I've observed, and we've been having a lot of disturbing cases in the country, is child protection. I'll mention two cases that I read. Like, they just happened last month. This has only happened last month. The first case was a man who killed his stepson because he was eating too much. Okay, so this woman, like, according to the story, she was impregnated by another man. She done a new marriage with a 1-year-old child. And that husband, like, he didn't like the way that boy was eating. You say he was eating too much, and he killed that. He actually axed that boy to death. Okay, there's no child protection. He gave an excuse to say that the axe fell on the child accidentally, but that explanation wasn't condoned. Then the second one is the situation where another man wanted to sell a stepdaughter, 11-year-old child. He wanted to sell that child for 100,000 kwacha. So if you can, a dollar is 26 kwacha here in Zambia. Multiply that 26 with 100,000, So we've got a lot of child safeguarding issues happening, and thank God we have got a lot of child safeguarding organizations, not just the government, the social welfare. We've got World Vision, we've got Child Fund, we've got UNICEF, we've got a lot of organizations, but as a community, we need to safeguard our children. We need to protect our children. We've had girl children being married off at a tender age. I was in hospital the other year when I was expecting my son. I was in hospital, and there was a 13-year-old girl who was defiled. It was heartbreaking to look at that young child carrying another child inside her. Then I told the mother to say, "Did you report this mother to the case?" She said, the authorities in the village wanted to marry off that child. I told her that's illegal. You need to sue those people because it's not supposed to be. So those are some of the disturbing issues that are happening. I don't know if it's happening in your country, but I've seen even in other countries, not just Zambia. We've got child safeguard issues. We need to protect our children. Our children are the future. So if we don't protect them, then we're headed for doom.
Wow, those are really troubling examples, you've given there. And, saying yet Zambia, the moment is happening, and South Africa as well. It's a big problem, in South Africa. Femicide, crime, against children. And it seems, even with the amount of the non-governmental organization who are doing a lot of base violence, femicide and so on, and crime against young children, For me, it's so disturbing that it seems it's increasing, it's getting worse rather than getting better. And I know across West Africa too, the issue is rife, even though, yeah, maybe reporting it is not as the way it's being reported in South
Mm,
Africa. And so
mm,
you touched on a very, very, good comment there. I mean, I did hear that you're saying, yeah, the community. And I think, how, in South
yeah,
Africa, there's what is called I am because you are, So
yes.
what
Want
more do we need to as communities, because we're failing our children, we're failing our
mm,
girl child, we're failing our
mm,
boy child. What more,
mm,
do we need to do, as communities?
mm.
What more?
What more?
Who-
It's very
Yeah,
disturbing.
it, it is really, really disturbing, and
Yeah.
I feel, we really have to play the role, working, hand in hand with the government, with those organizations who are already
Mm,
doing more. And there, and I just want to share this because it's stuck in my head with one of our guests who was on a program at some point, I believe, last year, who said we need to go back to the basic,
yeah.
family values,
Mm-hmm.
are being. So the one who probably impregnated the 13-year-old maybe is a broken man,
Mm-hmm.
already.
Mm-hmm.
The man who asked the son was probably broken, had no love
Mm-hmm.
growing. So it's a circle, So those values, how can we go back to those family values we used to
Mm-hmm.
have, which we seem
Mm-hmm.
losing day day out, and more needs to be done. And we all have a role to play in it, because at the end of the day, our families are getting married. My children, my nephew, my cousin, my friend's daughter. We always say, yeah, God forbid in Nigeria. That's the term we always say. However, these things are real. It's out there. So we all have to play a role in it. And, like what you said,
Yeah.
telling that,
They are happening.
family to report.
Mm,
Yeah, to go and report, so that way, that 13-year-old, I'm still a kid. She's still a kid. So,
mm.
but then people go, maybe
Still
the
a kid.
shame, maybe the stigma, and everything associated with it. Whew, right. Okay. You've
Mm,
come up with more questions than solutions. And I believe, yes, we need to keep having those conversations. Need, no
yeah.
matter how sensitive and how difficult those conversations are, we
Yeah.
need to keep on having them.
Mm,
And yeah, oh, okay. I really, you've just opened, something else, for me, and I'm asking our viewers and our listeners to please, let's keep talking about finding solutions to this issue. How do we solve this problem?
yeah.
That 13-year-old child could have been my daughter. That young 1-year-old son could have been my son or my nephew. So, what role are we all playing if it's one family
Mm-hmm.
at a time, like you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
impacting lives through the tree planting, through what you're doing, one community, one person's life at a time? Yes, we need to keep doing that. Monica, thank you so much. We celebrate you, we honor you. You've brought up more questions, but that is what this program is about. It's about sharing our stories, sharing, issues that hopefully somebody might say, okay, what can I do to impact lives, positively?
Mm-hmm.
I might have a neighbor, I might be seeing things I not want to talk, but it's getting us to start talking,
Mm,
having those difficult questions. So we celebrate you, building nation, impacting lives. We honor you. Thank you for what you're doing, and can't wait to hear more of your stories, to actually come and see, to visit you in Zambia to see, what you're doing and share more, about that to encourage, to inspire, to empower others. We celebrate you. So what I want to do
Thank
now
you.
is I want to, in closing, you're welcome, to just give words of encouragement to anyone out there, whatever you want to share. You've already shared so much, to rediscover yourself, be resilient. Any word of encouragement you want to give anyone. In closing, I wanted to do that just now.
Thank you so much, okay. Um, just a word of encouragement. I would just encourage everybody to embrace their talents. God has given us gifts in our hands. So I'll ask a question, everybody who is listening, to say, what is in your hands? What gift has God given you? What talent has God given you? Look for that talent and embrace it. You'll do greater things for the world. Thank you.
Oh, short and sweet. What is in your hands? That's one of my favorites. Even last week at an elderly forum, I was sharing that. So we're all on the same page, and that is when the Holy Spirit is talking, it's saying the same thing. You heard her. Invest in your
Yes,
talent. What is in your hands, and what gift
yes.
can you give? What legacy can you give to others? You're already leaving a legacy through what you're doing, and I'm sure it will carry on from generation to generation. And I believe the God Almighty that you serve will continue to give you that wisdom, that strength, for you to carry on. And it will continue to open doors, for you as well, whereby you will
Amen.
go across not just an area that you're in now, but more area, and people will learn from you so that they're
Amen.
able to positively impact lives as you have been serving humanity, volunteering, doing this, doing your work, putting in people's life. So we wish you all the very best for the future. Invest in your talent. I've had so many nuggets, from here. Rediscover yourself. Thank you so much. I'm so thankful that we've managed to do this because we've tried to do this over how many days due to network, but God has been faithful. Thank you for your time. So
Thank you
that's all
so
we've got time
much.
for today
Thank you
on
so
Impact
much.
Africa.
God bless you.
And you too, my dear sister. God bless you. We'll be right back next time. Stay safe, stay blessed. Remember, God is love. Love you all.